Good evening. Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to the law. Is it law? Law? Yeah, the law of success. 15 rules to the law of success. So there we go. Okay, we're over there. I'm going to pause that so that I don't have to see myself in stereo. So we finished up, we started with the lesson by lesson. The following is a statement of that which you may expect to receive from the 15 laws of success. And we did definite chief aim, self-confidence, and we talked about the habit of saving. So initiative and leadership. Number 4, initiative and leadership. Number 4. Initiative and leadership will show you how to become a better leader instead of a follower in your chosen field of endeavor. It will develop in you the instinct for leadership, which will cause you gradually to gravitate to the top in all undertakings in which you participate. Now, how cool would that be to gravitate to the top? Think about that. When they say gravitate, gravity usually pulling us down. This means that possibly it could mean that your dream is bigger than you expect, bigger than you understand, has more weight, has a gravitational field, right? All of that little things make sense. Number 5, imagination. Imagination will stimulate your mind. This is a big one. Imagination will stimulate your mind so that you can conceive new ideas and develop new plans, which will help you in attaining the objective of your definite chief aim, your DMP, your definite major purpose. This lesson will teach you how to build new houses out of old stones. That's in quote, build new houses out of old stones, so to speak. It will show you how to create new ideas out of old, well-known concepts and how to put old ideas to new uses. This one lesson alone is the equivalent of a very practical course in salesmanship. And it is sure to prove a veritable gold mine of knowledge to the person who is in earnest. Number 6, enthusiasm. Enthusiasm will enable you to saturate all with whom you come in contact with interest in you and ideas. Enthusiasm will enable you to saturate, in quotes, all with whom you come in contact with interest in you and in your ideas. 7, self-control is the balance wheel with which you control your enthusiasm and direct it where you wish it to carry you. You know why most people struggle with money? Is they're not enthusiastic about it. They're not enthusiastic about it. They're just not. It's a struggle. It's a stress. It's, I ain't got none. I don't. If you were money, would you date you? If you were money, would you date you? Would you hang out with you? Would you be talking to each other, pillow talk, middle of the night, going, I love you. No, you hang up. No, I love you, money. You hang up. No, I don't want to hang up. I want to be with you all the time. Number 8, the habit of, here's one that we think we do. And we do it, but then we reject the payment. So this just got downloaded. We do this one. Sometimes we don't do it to the best of our ability. We think we're doing it. Yet when we do it, when we do this, when the payment is made back to us, we reject it. So then it doesn't matter how much we do. It's like, it doesn't matter how much we do. We always get rejected. Here's the number 8. The habit of doing more than paid for is one of the most important lessons of the Law of Success course. It will teach you how to take advantage of the law of increasing returns, which will eventually ensure you return in money, your return in money far out of proportion to the service you rendered. Okay. No one may become a real leader in any walk of life without practicing the habit of doing more and better work than that which he is paid for. Let me read that one again. The habit of doing more than paid for is one of the most important lessons of the Law of Success course. It will teach you how to take advantage of the law of increasing returns, and that's in capital. That's a law, the law of increasing returns. You want to know what the law of increasing returns is? You already know it. The law of increasing returns is you plant one kernel of corn, how many kernels do you get back? You plant one acorn, how many acorns do you get back? You plant one tomato seed, how many tomato seeds do you get back? Do you see? This is a law of increasing return. You have one mama, how many babies can one mama have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Octomama, how many babies can one mama have? 1 or 2. So there's always this law of increasing. You can always produce more from the seed. Think about that. Think about your ideas as seeds. What do they produce more of? What are you in the production of? Are you in the production of smiles, of healthy cells, of healthy families, of prosperous families? It will teach you how to take advantage of the law of increasing returns, which will eventually ensure the return in money far out of proportion to the service you rendered. No one may become a real leader in any walk of life without practicing the habit of doing more and better work than that for which he or she is paid. Number 9, pleasing personality is the fulcrum. Y'all know what a fulcrum is? I think it was Archimedes said, give me a fulcrum and a lever and I can move the world. A fulcrum is the thing that the teeter-totter sits on. It's the pivot point. That's a fulcrum. A pleasing personality is the fulcrum on which you must place the crowbar of your efforts, when so placed with intelligence, it will enable you to remove mountains of obstacles. Pleasing personality. If people were to go back and watch your videos, would they say you have a pleasing personality? Or are you kind of yelling at the screen? Would they say you have a pleasing personality? Or is it a monotone message? Pleasing personality is the fulcrum, in quotes, on which you must place the crowbar, in quotes, of your efforts. And when so placed with intelligence, what does Wallace say? There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made. With intelligence, it will enable you to remove mountains of obstacles. This one lesson alone, there's each one of these, right? This one lesson alone has made scores of master salesmen. It has developed leaders overnight. It will teach you how to transform your personality so that you may adapt yourself to any environment or to any other personality, in such a manner that you may easily dominate. That's why you have to use this for good. Number 10, accurate thinking is one of the most important foundation stones of all enduring, continuing success. Accurate thinking. This lesson teaches you how to separate facts from mere information. It teaches you how to organize known facts into 2 classes, the important and the unimportant. It teaches you how to determine what is an important fact. It teaches you how to build definite working plans in the pursuit of any calling out of facts. Number 11, concentration. teaches you how to focus your attention upon one subject at a time until you have worked out practical plans for mastering that subject. It will teach you how to ally yourself with others in such a manner that you may have the use of their entire knowledge to back you up in your own plans and purposes, aka mastermind. It will give you a practical working knowledge of forces around you and show you how to harness and use these. Number 12, cooperation. Cooperation will teach you the value of teamwork in all that you do. In this lesson, you will be taught how to apply the law of the mastermind, described in the introduction and in lesson 2 of this course. This lesson will show you how to coordinate your own efforts with those of others in such a manner that friction, jealousy, strife, envy, and cupidity will be eliminated. You will learn how to make use of all that other people have learned about the work in which you are engaged. Man, I don't know why this isn't taught more places, more times, more often. Number 13, profiting by a failure. Will teach you how to make stepping stones out of all of your past and future mistakes and failures. It will teach you the difference between failure and temporary defeat, a difference which is very great and very important. It will teach you how to profit by your own failures and by the failures of other people. Number 14. They're in Roman numerals, so I had to do math in my head. Tolerance. Tolerance will teach you how to avoid the disaster. Okay. Tolerance will teach you how to avoid the disastrous effects of racial and religious prejudices or any prejudices added by the reader, which mean defeat for millions of people who permit themselves to become entangled in foolish argument over these subjects, thereby poisoning their own minds and closing the door to reason and investigation. This lesson is the twin sister of the one on accurate thinking, for the reason that no one may become an accurate thinker without practicing tolerance. Intolerance closes the book of knowledge and writes on the cover, "Fini! I have learned it all." Intolerance closes the book of knowledge and writes on the cover, "Fini! I have learned it all." Intolerance makes enemies of those who should be friends. It destroys opportunities and fills the mind with doubt, mistrust, and prejudice. What are you intolerating in your life right now? Just saying. And number 15. Practicing the golden rule will teach you how to make use of this great universal law of human conduct in such a manner that you may easily get harmonious cooperation from any individual or group of individuals. Lack of understanding the law upon which the golden rule philosophy is based is one of the major causes of failure for millions of people who remain in misery, poverty, and want all their lives. Let me say this again. Practicing the golden rule will teach you how to make use of this harmonious cooperation, how to make use of this great universal law of human conduct in such a manner that you may easily get the harmonious cooperation from any individual or group of individuals. Lack of understanding of the law upon which the golden rule philosophy is based is one of the major causes of failure of millions of people who remain in misery, who remain in poverty, and who remain in want all of their lives. This lesson has nothing whatsoever to do with religion in any form, nor in sectarianism, nor have any of the other lessons of this course on the law of success. When you have mastered these 15 laws and made them your own, you may do within a period of from 15 to 30 weeks. Listen carefully. It says it right here. 15 to 30 weeks. You'll be ready to develop sufficient personal power to ensure the attainment of your definite chief aim. The purpose of these 15 laws is to develop or help you organize all the knowledge you have and all you acquire in the future, so that you may turn this knowledge into power, not strength, into power. You should read the Law of Success book with a Law of Success course with a notebook by your side, for you will observe that ideas will begin to flash into your mind as you read, and as to ways and means of using the laws and advancing your own interest. The intention is every time you come to something that I'm doing, I would ask you, what is the intention you want from this session, from your intention? What is your intention, so that the reticular activating system can be activated and you can say, that's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Oh, there it is. You should also begin teaching. You should also begin teaching. What did he say? You should also begin teaching these laws to those in whom you are most interested in, as well. You are most interested, as it is a well-known fact that the more one tries to teach a subject, the more he learns about the subject. I bet if I asked Amber or Heather about wellness, I bet they know more now than when they did when they started. I bet. I'm just guessing. I bet Diane knows more about aloe vera than she ever thought she would ever know. I bet Daniela knows more about gratitude than she ever thought she'd ever know. I know more about sheep than I thought I'd ever know. A man who has a family of young boys and girls may so indelibly fix these 15 laws of success in their mind that this teaching will change the entire course of their lives. The man with a family should interest his wife in studying the course with him, for reasons which will be plain before you complete reading this introduction. In bold capital letters, power is one of the three basic objects of human endeavor. Power is of two classes: that which is developed through coordination of natural physical laws, and that which is developed by organizing and classifying knowledge. Let me say that again. Power has two classes: that which is developed through the coordination of natural physical laws, and that which is developed by organizing and classifying knowledge. Power growing out of organized knowledge is the more important because it places in man's possession a tool with which he may transfer, redirect, and to some extent harness the use of other forms of power. Power growing out of organized knowledge is more important because it places in man's possession. You now own power. When you understand applied power, the knowledge of your power, it puts in your possession a tool with which you may transfer and redirect, and to some extent harness the use of other forms of power. The object of this reading course is to mark the route by which the student may safely travel in gathering such facts as he may wish to weave into his fabric of knowledge. There are two major methods of gathering knowledge, namely by studying, classifying, and assimilating facts which have been organized by other people and through one's own process of gathering, organizing, and classifying facts, generally called personal experience. Two major methods of gathering knowledge, namely by studying, classifying, and assimilating facts which have been organized by other people, school, and through one's own process of gathering, organizing, and classifying facts, generally called personal experience. This lesson deals mainly with the ways and means of studying the facts and data gathered and classified by other people. The state of advancement, known as civilization, is but the measure of knowledge with which a race has accumulated. This knowledge is in two classes, mental and physical. Among the useful knowledge organized by man, he has discovered and cataloged the 80 odd. Now it goes into science here. It's important to understand why he delves so much into science. Does anybody know what's about to come, how sciencey it gets? Because if you don't, hang with me, go get some coffee. This is going to get real technical. Why would the law of success get so real technical about molecules and particles and elements? It's because it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. Among the useful knowledge organized by man, he has discovered and cataloged the 80-odd physical elements which all material forms of the universe consist. By studying and analyzing and accurate measurements, man has discovered the bigness, right? The galaxy, the planets, the stars, the bigness of the material side of the universe as represented by planets, suns, and stars, some of which are known to be over 10 million times as large as the little earth on which he lived. On the other hand, man has also discovered the littleness of the physical forms which constitute the universe by reducing the 80-odd physical elements into molecules, atoms, and finally, the smallest particle. 1936, the smallest particle was an electron. In less than 100 years, we've gone 2 levels deeper, a magnitude of magnificence. We've gone to the quark and now to the quasar. And that's just what I know. And what's in between the quark and the quasar? Still nothingness. An electron cannot be seen, but it is the center of force consisting of a positive and negative. I wonder where Outwitting the Devil gets that. I'm half of everything you do. The positive, could not exist without me. The electron is the beginning of everything. Not as far as 2024, less than 100 years later. But for the sake of this dialogue, molecules, atoms, electrons. I'm going to pause right here. Let me put a little tick right here. And I want to go over any of the questions, comments. So what did you hear about the 15 law, the different chief aims, the self-confidence, the habit of saving, the initiative and leadership, imagination, enthusiasm, self-control, the habit of doing more than paid for, pleasing personality, accurate thinking, concentration, cooperation, profiting by failure, the 15 laws, what to expect from them, and then what you just learned about power and knowledge. Thoughts, comments? Open dialogue. Ask questions, because otherwise this is just going to sit like a leftover in the fridge and you're going to throw it out. Hey.
How are you?
Outstanding. You sound great.
Thanks. I don't know if it's because everything that I have going on that I'm having a hard time processing.
No, well, yes, but it's also a very deep. It's like reading Old English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the concept of what he's trying to,
But this is where you asking a question helps to
right.
get. Yeah. So,
But I'm stuck on asking where to start.
okay. So what do you feel?
Confusion.
Okay. Confusion about the content or what the content can do for you.
What the content can do for me.
Right. So if this is so guess what? You should put a smile on your face because here's why. You want something you've never had before, right?
Yeah.
So you've heard me do this on three-way calls. Would it be fair to say if you want something you've never had before, you're going to have to hear something you've never heard before? Y'all pay attention to this. This is for everybody. So is it fair to say that you've never heard this before?
Yes.
So is it okay to say we might be
I've
on the
never heard this before.
right? Isn't it okay we might be on the right track?
Yeah.
So now get excited. This is learning the language of success. This would be like me saying, okay, you're going to go learn Italian.
I'd be excited.
You're right. You kind of know Italian. You probably spoke to Italians. You probably grew up around Italians. You probably, right?
Yeah.
So you know it. It's a love language. It'd be fun. You'd have to go to Italy. Well, what happens if you go to success? Wouldn't it be fair to say, and everybody around you successful, and everybody's talking, speaking success, and all of a sudden you don't know what the heck they're saying?
And that's where I'm kind of stuck at.
So the point is that your old story's going, then this must be stupid. I know you're not saying that, but your old story is at a subconscious level. This is for all of you. This is intense. I don't understand. It just, and this is Sean reading it. If he wasn't reading it, I'd have stopped listening a long time ago. So if you listen carefully, understand this process. See if we can build this map together. Every one of you wants something you've never had before. It is a dream. If you knew it, wouldn't you be on the path to it? Yes. Well, if you want to get on the path to it, can you use anything you already know? Yes, but not in the vibration that you already know it. This is why they go into the electrons, molecules, and protons and croutons. Because the simple changing of one electron, not the atom, not the molecule, one electron, one thing in the floating of the atmosphere, changes the whole structure and what the mineral or metal or, right? You can go from arsenic to gold. So if this is all confusing, get excited, literally get excited. Don't go, oh my God, I don't understand this. I don't understand this, and yet it's a rule. It's a laws that I can follow. I can learn new rules. So I'll ask everybody, should we go through it paragraph by paragraph to dive in and deeper? Because it's not me. Listen, I don't get a gold star for reading the book. I'm not doing this to read the book.
I see it.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm okay with that. Listen, there's no reason going on. This is like reading comprehension. It's no good to be a 5,000 word a minute reader if you don't remember anything you read. So how far back? Listen, I love this. I love that I get to dive in deeper with you. I seriously. How far back do you want to go? I'm okay with going. Let's go back to Philip D. Armour. I don't care. Or we can go back to the beginning of chapter 1. I want you to get this. I believe I'm a good person to help you grasp it. Just from my experience and my understanding of the hundreds and thousands of hours of reading similar stuff like this and listening to this. You know how many times I've listened to the audio? I can almost recite this. But I need your input. I need your dialogue. This isn't to overwhelm you or to overpower you or to make you feel less. This is about, okay, let's go back and so I understand I can begin the laws of success. Tell me where you guys want to go. Back to where we started this time, back to the first law, the mastermind in lesson 1. Where tell me where you want to start.
I wasn't here when you guys started, so
Okay. Somebody else tell me, where do you want to go back to? You want to start again with the lesson and go paragraph by paragraph and just, okay, I see Diane nodding. Diane's a pretty good indicator.
Yeah.
Say again?
I'm good with the beginning.
Okay. So do you want to do Armour and Graham Bell's letters or just start with chapter 1? Lesson 1, the mastermind. You can do it. You can believe it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So what does a fundamental mean? This is what's his name? Vince Lombardi. This is a football. What decide what a fundamental means? Because this says this in capital letters. This is a course on the fundamentals of success. So here's the next sentence. Success is success is very largely a matter of adjusting one's self. Okay, what is adjusting oneself? Open comment. Throw it out. What does adjusting oneself mean?
mindset, changing the mindset.
Okay, yep. Now, in order to adjust, you have to be what? What was one of the things we just learned?
Willing to learn.
Tolerance and intolerance. Are we intolerant of our own adjustment? You're going to go after something you've never had before. What do you think the chances are? 0 to 100%. What do you think the chances are you're going to have to adjust oneself to the ever varying and changing environments of life? Come on, throw it out. 0 to 100. I know the number.
100.
100.
100.
100%. So look at you now. Look at the back of your hand. Go, that's going to 100% change. It's going to 100% change. The way you know love, 100% going to change. The way you know poverty, 100% going to change. The way you know riches, 100% going to change. Are you okay with that? This is Campbell's answering the call. Write on your paper, I'm okay, 100% change. A lot of it's not going to be, but when the 100%, listen, what's the difference between 99 and 100? A lot. 1%. So then it goes on to say, listen, success is very largely, didn't say it's a matter of, it didn't say success is a matter of adjusting oneself. It says success is very largely a matter of adjusting oneself to the ever-varying, continuously changing and changing environments of life. Does it say of my life? No, of your life. This is when we start to compare. Somebody winds up getting an advance or getting a raise faster than us, or they went and we go into compare-itis. It doesn't say you must, a matter of adjusting oneself to the ever-varying, changing environment of their lives, of your life. Keep the main thing, Stephen Covey. Now listen, here's the part where it gets spiritual. Success is very largely a matter of adjusting oneself in an ever-varying, changing environments in life in the spirit of harmony. Somebody Google poise for me, please, and tell me what it means. P-O-I-S-E. Somebody Google that. What does poise mean? What is Webster's dictionary? It's an often used
Graceful.
word. Go ahead.
Graceful and elegant bearing in a person.
Okay. So graceful and bearing. Say it one more time, Ross.
Graceful and elegant bearing in a person.
Graceful and elegant bearing in a person. When should you be in a spirit of harmony and graceful in elegance? In the ever varying, changing environments of life, adjusting yourself with elegance and grace. Think about the last time you got your butt kicked. Did you do it with elegance and grace? It's how it knows it can beat you. Hey, listen, there's the thinking stuff, right? You all nod your head. There is a thinking stuff. Do you think the thinking stuff can think negative? Wait, what? Skippy? If we well, listen, do not be misled. Do not go down the primrose path. Don't put on the rose-colored goggles thinking that the thinking stuff is just positive. The thinking stuff doesn't know it's positive or negative. It's just thinking. In the first line, success is very largely a matter of adjusting one's self to the ever-varying and changing environments of life in a spirit of harmony and grace and elegance, aka poise. Should I give you 30 days to go work on that and we can come back and read line 2? Harmony, listen carefully. Harmony is based upon understanding. See, I've met a lot of people who have read this book, and I know they did it through strategy. They just wanted to say they read the book. Do you think anybody's going to spend 10 minutes on the first 2 sentences? Harmony is based upon understanding of the forces constituting one's environment. Okay, stop. What are the forces that constitute your environment? Come on, throw them out. Weather? Epictetus said, for those of you with desire, put it on the shelf. Can you control the weather? Nope. Then you have to understand, in order to be in harmony with your dream, you have to understand the forces constituting one's environment. How about your significant other? How about your kiddos? How about the person who cuts you off? How about the person who cuts in line? How about the person who wants to buy your lunch? Maslow said, right? Maslow said, we're told all the time. What are we told about when people have bad things to say about us? What are we told? Don't pay any attention to them. You want to know what Maslow said? You want to know how he understood what constitutes the environment? The forces in one's environment? Maslow said this. He said it to Wayne Dyer. It blew Wayne Dyer out of the water. Anybody know what he said about? He said, be independent of the good opinion other people have for you. Do you know why I'm kind of unrattleable? It's nice when people say good things about me. It's nice when people say bad things about me. It doesn't shake my center. It doesn't feed my ego. I know that's just a force, and it's good that they get to point to me and say, I love the way you do things. Well, you're welcome. It wasn't meant for you to love any of it. It was to bring you value. I do my best not to read my own press. So hang on. Harmony is based upon understanding the forces constituting, couldn't read. Constituting. It's back to 3rd grade. Sound it out, Sean. Sound it out. What does it sound like? must, upon the understanding of the forces constituting one's environment. Therefore, this course is in reality a blueprint that may be followed straight to success because it helps the student to interpret, understand, and make the most of these environmental forces of life. Should you ever put this book down? If this is the blueprint, and where did this blueprint come from? The richest men on the planet. Harmony is based upon understanding these forces constituting one's environment. Therefore, this course in reality is in reality a blueprint that may be followed straight to success because it helps the student to interpret, understand, and make the most of these environmental forces of life. So I have, in my own handwriting, having the universe deliver what you want. If you are to come into harmony, if we are to come into harmony with it, with our environment, then all that we want is already, whoever wrote this note's a genius. If we are to come into harmony, listen carefully, come into harmony with our environment, then all that we want is already in our environment. If I had a mic, I'd drop it. Thoughts, comments, feedback. Teach that to me. Somebody teach me that paragraph. What does it say? What is it? What do you understand it as?
To be in harmony with your environment. Is that what you asked?
This paragraph, what I just read. Try to summarize it.
What I got out of that was to not allow any of the exterior to waver who you are and what you're going for.
Well, do you have any control over the exterior?
No.
No. So what do you now have to establish so that there's a clear understanding that none of that matters? The environment, you live in the north, the environment, if it's cold, you put a jacket on. You don't let it bother you. You can say, "Ooh, it's cold. My hands are cold in my head," but you put a jacket on. If it's hot, you take your jacket off. You have complete control over your personal environment. Your personality makes up your personal reality, or your personal reality makes up your personality. Joe Dispenza, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the new understanding now that you hear this? Because you can't unhear education. You can choose to not use it. You now have knowledge. Knowledge is power, right? We just talked about it. Through the organization of other facts by others or through your own personal experience. You now have both. So what's something each of you might do now that you understand, if you're in alignment with what Danny's saying? The outside world's the outside world. How do you choose to not let it? Well, you have a responsibility to it. It's your ability to respond. How do you choose to respond in a way that's constantly positive for you? 4 little words. And I love that. But I don't love it because it's not right. It ain't your control. Listen, I was watching a meme somewhere, and it was Pee Wee Herman, and whoever his nemesis is says, "My daddy said I could have anything I want for my birthday." Well, that's great. And I want your bike. Can't have my bike. It's my bike. It's not for sale. Not for $1 million, trillion, billion. And they start going back and forth, and I'm rubber, you're glue, blah, blah, blah. And he's at the very end of it, Pee Wee Herman says, "It's not my monkeys. I just train them." It's not my monkeys. It's your barrel of monkeys. I just train the monkeys. They're not mine. I just train them. Learn to train the monkeys. Learn to throw bananas really hard so they go away. How much outside of you is not right? Now bring me into your picture and ask me how much of what's outside of you is not right. What's my answer? Bring, I don't know, bring somebody who you don't know into your world and say, here's what's going on. What do you think their answer is going to be? So think about it. Oh, you bring somebody from a third world country. What are they going to go? First world problems. How much of your life is misery because of first world problems? I don't have cell connection. Who else? Anybody else want to take a stab at what you interpret this first paragraph to be?
Knowing your own inherent worthiness.
Okay.
And like you were saying this morning, receive the miracles. The things like you're deserving, you're enough, you're worthy, and start noticing the things that you're pushing away or taking in.
So any note from Chelsea today?
No, but my son sent us a picture. He landed on the boat and it's sunset, beautiful picture. And he was in a good mood.
How'd that make you feel?
Oh, great.
So the work you did this morning helped him. He just doesn't know it.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Were you expecting a message from him today?
Well, just to say that he was on his way, because he did say he'd be flying out today, or that
Okay.
they were just waiting to make sure everything was fixed so they can land on the boat. So it was
Okay.
fixed.
Okay. Very cool.
But
And
he
you got
sent
a
the
picture.
and yeah, in the comments. So yeah.
Yeah, this stuff doesn't work. I love it. Love it.
Yes.
Okay. Before you begin reading the Law of Success lessons, you should know something of the history of the course. You should know exactly what the course promises to those who follow it until they have assimilated the laws and principles upon which it is based. You should know exactly what the course promises to those who follow it until they have assimilated the laws and principles upon which it is based. You should know its limitations as well as its possibilities as an aid in your fight for a place in the world. What does that mean?
It's a beneficial tool.
And the key words I have underlined are course promises until assimilated. So this is, for me, it's the new, one of the things that hit me as I'm going through Hill and Success and Deep Definite Chief Aim and Chief Definite Major Purpose and all of this. Why would I, between Waddles, Proctor, and this, and Hill, right? Hill stuff, Hill, Proctor, and Waddles, why would I teach anything else? Why don't I, me, Sean, become the master teacher of this?
Do it until you don't have to do it anymore.
Why not become the living example of all of this? I pretty am, but that was an unconscious incompetent. I can promise you some of the things that I have in my life, I have no clue how it happened. It definitely wasn't state, and I'm sorry, it definitely wasn't strategy, and it definitely wasn't story. It was all state. And sometimes miracles we can't explain them. So we'll end there. So this is where we ended for today's 17.
16.
16. Yes, 16. Yesterday was tax day. So what'd you all get from this? Somebody asked me what I learned, what I like.
What did you learn? What'd you like?
I learned that it's okay for us to dive back in. It's okay to go through the teacher's notes. It's okay for us to go back through and explain it and expand on it. I learned that we got to do it 100 times. It's okay if we read this, listen, they said most of chapter 1 could be the reason where the biggest success comes from. The mastermind, understanding that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with us doing this. If you're not, then I don't know what to share with you. But I want to dissect every word. And the more that we do this, and it just keeps ringing in my head. If we want something we've never had, we're going to have to think a way we've never thought, feel a way we've never felt, do another thing we've never done to get a result we've never had. It's a freaking recipe for disaster. It really is. It really is. Until we do it enough. It's like learning how to ice skate. If you don't know how to ice skate, you can't say it's like roller skating. It's not. And you can't tell me roller skating is like ice skating because I can ice skate. I can't roller skate. They're all similar. I can speak Puerto Rican Spanish. I don't speak Mexican Spanish. I don't speak Spain Spanish. There's all these little, what do you call them? Dialects. These little delicacies. Right? English. New Yorkers versus Alabamians. I don't know if that's what you call them. But it's like two different worlds. Right? New Jersey versus New York. Connecticut versus New York. Florida versus Georgia. You can tell somebody's from Georgia. You can tell somebody's from the Carolinas. If you know what you hear, you can tell somebody's in poverty. If you listen to how they say what they say, the accent with which they speak success. What is your success accent? So that's what I learned. That's what and I'm really excited about diving into this. If you're okay with that, paragraph by paragraph. There's no reason to say we went through it to check a box. Anybody else want to share what they learned, what they liked?
It just brought out, like the law of attraction, how the thoughts of others affect you. And it just brings, all the things we were talking to lately about, like you talked about the miracles this morning. How can you create those miracles to flow into your life? And you talked about ego. And one of the things that I thought about with ego is it based on intention or soul?
Mm.
And that's what's been on. I've been back and forth all day with it. So yeah. And to build your dreams to compete with the community who supports you and the tribe. And those are the things that flowed to me today.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And look
so
at that.
just-
You got a great notification. Your son's arrived and a beautiful picture.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's what this is supposed to teach us, but
It's absolutely what it's supposed to teach you. It's the awareness of that you are this whole entity creating a whole new level of success, which is everything that you're a part of in every way, in every shape. I love it. Who else? What else? Anyone else?
I love that Diane brought up ego. That was that seems to be a thing for me. Is letting
So-
go of ego.
Did you hear the two definitions? Edging God out or edging goodness on?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Those are my main two right now.
Awesome.
Which one do you choose?
I love it. Who else?
Sean, it made me think about how I let things in my environment affect me, like my state. You know, I got away from like saying, and I love that. So I realized that I'm a lot more annoyed recently. So that's huge for me.
Well, I gotta say it's a funny thing, but it's not funny when it happens to you. But I was checking the other day. I was checking Lily's her milk bags to see if where the more closer you are to pregnant, the fuller they get, right? Well, I reached to where I was at. I reached in from behind and was checking her udders and feeling her milk bag, and so my hand wasn't cold, but she just went and peed. And what did she pee on? My arm. So I said to myself, note to self, always reach from the belly to check the milk bags, not through the back, because it was right there. So I just thought that was funny. It was the funniest thing. I said, Lily, and I know she did it on purpose. She was probably waiting. She's just, not that she's spiteful. I've chased her all too much. And so it was her little way of letting me know she's in charge. But it was fun. I said, you know what? I love that. I love that I get this story. It helps. It changes everything when you do that. I love it. Anyone else? Any last thoughts, comments, shares?
This is Ruth.
Hey,
I wanted,
Ruth.
hey, I just wanted to thank you for going back and
Good.
taking it paragraph at a time. It just reinforces, even though we just heard it last week. I don't know. It was great to hear it again.
Good.
So,
I'm
I appreciate it.
excited. I will go through it sentence by sentence, word by word, and then go back and visit it again. This is like running a play, right? If you've ever been in
Mhm.
sports, okay, we're doing a play. We're going one-on-one. And then even in this play, you can go one-on-one, you can go defense, you can go zone, you can do a whole bunch of things. When you understand the depth of the content, you can play one-on-one success, one-on-two success, one-on-many success, many-on-one success, zone success. I'm going to stay in this box and I'm not going to get out of it, right? For investing in different things and all of that stuff. So thank you for that. That's a reinforcement, because sometimes I believe, my God, you're beating a dead horse. Why are you saying it again? That's my ego showing up. And that's why I ask. I love going over this. Can you imagine what'll happen at the end of this? How much we will understand it so much deeper? We're literally going through it so it reads us. Does that make sense? We're going through the book so it reads us. And then some ideas are going to come out of this. I promise you. All of you are going to have 100,000 or a $500,000 or $1 million idea before we get halfway through the book. I promise you. I promise you. Promise you. It can't not happen. I'm excited because I know it's going to happen for me too.
So the reason why it felt good to slow down, I feel like sometimes it's all about rushing through, right? Let's see how fast we can go. Let's see how much and it's just, I want to slow down. I don't want to always rush. And so I think that was appealing for me.
Good. I love that. Listen, I'm slow. I like to do things slow. My brain isn't that fast. So I love it. So I repeat things a lot.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just what I need. So I appreciate it.
Good. I love it. Thank you. That makes my heart smile. So I appreciate that.
Can I get the book on Amazon, Sean?
Yeah. You might even be able to find it because it's 19 it's not 100 years old yet. So the memoirs of 1925, I think this first publication was 1935. Anything 100 years old is in archive. But yes, you can, I'm sure there's PDF version or Kindle version for sure.
Yeah, I just dropped the PDF in there.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. I have
Thank
the
you.
Kindle.
I was
There you go.
hoping I could get a hard copy.
Oh,
Oh.
well, yeah, that you can get. It's on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon, but it's the blue book, and the one I'm reading from is, it says The Law of Success from the 1925 manuscripts, Napoleon Hill. You may or may not have something to share, but you just were highlighted, so I don't know if you were.
Am I?
Yeah, did that, and then it keeps going to you.
My finger was just yeah.
So what does your finger want to say?
What does my finger want to say? Hi.
Red
Hi.
rum, red rum, red
Oh
rum.
gosh. No. No, I'm gonna have bad dreams tonight. Thank you. No, but I will take the opportunity to say thank you for going through this and slowing down. And I am extraordinarily excited about hitting my $500,000 idea.
It's all there. I mean, you
It-
can feel it. I feel it.
It hit me between the eyes this morning, and Christina talked about the whole course thing, and yeah, it's there. It's there. And I'm ready for it to come out.
Good. I'm gonna start back next week. Start doing challenges again. I think next week, and then is it the week after that? The ranch? Are we already there? Wow. The place, we had another beautiful rain today, about 1/4 of an inch, just enough to, no runoff, wet the grass. Everything is green. I gotta go sharpen blades on the mower so I can go cut everything again for you all. Oh my God, it's gonna look so amazing. You're not even gonna recognize the place. I don't know that you will have ever seen it in this tip-top shape. You can thank your lucky stars, AKA the eclipse. Because Michelle let me cut grass.
How many are coming?
I think there's a dozen,
Good.
right? Some have gone a little silent on the northern front, but they supposedly have their tickets and their plane tickets and stuff. So we'll see. We shall see.
So Sean, I just checked the weather. Should we be checking Shirley, Arkansas? Is that
Yes.
that's okay.
Yep.
So it looks like it's going to be warm, which I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be chilly, like 50 or 60. For me, that's chilly. But
Right.
it looks like it could go as warm as 80.
Right. But I think at night it's going to be in the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
so
great.
Perfect sleeping weather. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yeah. It's going to be exciting. I think there's just going to be a lot of self-meditation and conversation, and we've got some neat things we've never gotten before. We're getting, yeah, it's like, I want to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you. I want to tell you. but
Don't tell us. Don't tell us.
I'm
Let
not
us
gonna
be
tell you.
surprised. Don't
No.
tell us.
I'm not telling. And then listen,
Michelle will be mad at you.
yes, no, I know. All I can say is that every day that Lily doesn't have, it's, you get to see a 1 day younger. I got it. That thing, but it's got to be here by the time you all get here. So otherwise, I'll be out there the whole time trying to do, I don't know. But anyway, so no, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. Yeah, we got some neat things fun planned for you. So yay. All right, everybody, go get some sleep. Sweet dreams. I love you all. And I'll see y'all where?
At the next
The
event.
next event.
I love it, love it, love it. And so see you in the morning. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Bye, everyone.
Thank
you,
you.
Sean.